It's a little windy today. I hope you can hear me. But here's a quick tour of the nursery. We did a little controlled burn yesterday. And where that truck and the pile of metal and whatnot by the bins, that's about to be 150 foot by, I'd say 30 foot field for produce. Here's the pond. And here's what I've been doing in my spare time. Just before Thanksgiving, I planted about 700 tulips. And they are all right here. I had no time, so I just got them in the dirt with a little bulb plug. Put some good soil in there. I would say there's easily, I want to say 40, 50 varieties out here. But they're all coming out very strong. They're going to be moving over here into these prepped rows. And all of them have been dug out by hand. I used an electric sidewalk edger to finally quit eyeballing my rows. And then this Corona, that Corona blade right there, I dig her down, get all the grass roots out. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it and I'll be right back. And I'm back. All right, all the grass that I've been pulling out goes in two places. First, filling this massive hole through the back driveway. Ran over it a couple of times. I went higher than I wanted it to be, and I run it over to flatten it out. And what else that has to be done, I'll just skim a little dirt across the top of it and level it off. The other place my grass goes is into old bags of soil. I cut them nice on top, same with the mulch bags. And then I'm gonna take the rest of these dirt piles here with all the grass roots. I'll put them in the bags, and then I'll lay these out where future rows are gonna go. I'm essentially going to take this back driveway and about 4 or 5 foot off the edge, I'm gonna have it follow all the way around it. And then essentially have rows going in this direction with little walkways around them. These are some muscari, the little grape tulips. I moved the far ones. You can definitely see a change in color. Those were planted last fall. These muscari were planted inside a barn this winter. I was out of state to do a cross-country job after Thanksgiving and got back. My niece passed away literally on my flight home. She passed away, and the funeral was literally a 3-week process with the family. After that, I caught COVID twice. Then I had a toothache take me out for a week. So my planting season was late. But in the barn, I've got a few thousand bulbs that are in pots that are doing lovely. They're all going to be moved out here. These were some of the plants that these are some of the bulb plants from last winter. 3 weeks, actually, these got planted up to 3 months later, and they were looking 2 weeks behind, but they're catching up quickly. So this is my bed of random. My business partner's dog loves to trample through these. I've got to get to training him. Yeah, but this one right here, this row has in the neighborhood of, I think, 250 plants or so, maybe more. It's essentially a mystery row. I just got them in the dirt. I'll let them come out, and then I'll move them into some other beds later. Yeah, this is another mystery row with some gladioli that a friend gave me. These are red lucifers. I could have divided them up into 60 plants, but I just let them go into 4 or 5 really big bushes. And these are irises. And yeah, so my next step is going to be going back through and checking which kinds these are, all these tulips are, and getting them moved into their own prep beds. I have my method to where the plants can't tell they were transplanted. I can pot a plant while it's blooming and sell it off. But here goes the first 2 blooms of the farm. There's a little crocus. And I can't remember the name of this one. It's a very Russian sounding name, but oh my God, I love them, and I'm so happy they're on the way. Maybe catch these in a little better light, but I love the tulips. So yeah, it's been raining all morning and it finally quit. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig out a few more beds. I'm gonna go buy an ego attachment for tiller attachment for my 56 volt cordless tools. And the only other tool I used besides this was the sidewalk edger. I just staked out a string line here and ran along it gently with the sidewalk edger just to leave a mark. And then once the mark's there, I give it another pass through deeper so it forms a straight line and go at it. The beauty of this grassy dirt right here is that when I put them in bags and seal them up, I can lay them where my future rows are gonna go, because I've been going through about this order right here every week. So, you know, 5 bags of Pro Mix, 15 bags of mulch. It's been pretty nuts. But so instead of doubling my order to have bags sitting on the dirt, I'm gonna put them in. I'm gonna put the grassy dirt that I pull from rows into the old soil bags, the old mulch bags, and then let the grass and the weeds die off, and then mix all of that into future soils, because worms love dead roots. But yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna pause again and I'll show you something else. And I'm back. For perspective here, we were just there. Over here is my soil amendment. This is an old brush pile that my friend who owns the property here, we finally just teamed up. We're both in our 40s. We're both tired of working for other people. So we teamed up. There's 7.5 acres out here, and we're essentially selling 5 of the 7.5 acres to the farm, and then we'll be legit like that. But down in here is just, it's a little sandy, but this is black life. I mean, this is so good. It's so good. I essentially run it through this strainer here and get as many of the old roots out as I can, and then use it to more or less amend the soil. But everywhere out here on this property, this at one time was a farm. I don't know what they grew, but it's turned into a wildflower field. And this summer, when wildflowers come out that I like, I'll stake them, label them, and then come back and reclaim them in the fall and get them moved into some rows. Yeah, but my goal here, it's the beginning of April right now, first week in April. By the end of this month, there's easily 1,250 plants in the dirt right now, another 1,000 in the barn. But end of April, I'm gonna have 5,000 plants in this spot. And then the rows go that way from there and down that distance until till it's full. And then I head that way. But the rest of this will be crops and tall grasses, and that side of the driveway, the far side of the driveway, is essentially going to be a gigantic sunflower field and tall grass field to be a little bit of a windbreak coming up off of them train tracks there. But yeah, here's me face. And here is my beloved Mr. Kilometers Davis. I am aware that it's not a race car. It's a support vehicle for my race car. But I have pretty much put racing on the back burner because my BMW brakes every time I run it hard. So I'm just kind of done with that. Some driftwood pieces I found. I've got so many more that are going to come out here, and I have to figure out how to actually incorporate them into the landscape. But yes, this is what I have going on, and thank you for tuning in. See you guys soon.